Hey, pushing out new video. I just came back from the mountain, so I'm not trying to look like a caveman, but wanted to do a quick video on my little winter trip that I just did, and I've learned a few things, and yeah, wanted to do a little update because a few things went a little bit wrong. But it wouldn't be an adventure if things would go all well. So it was a 3-day trip. Oh, by the way, too, I filmed a lot of the stuff on my trip on my little camera. But again, I have still computer issues. But I will try to upload some stuff because also I did a few trip downhill skiing. And they are on my camera as well, so I'm trying to find a way of editing, do some editing and send them on YouTube. Anyway, yeah, my little winter trip. So I went for 2 nights, 3 days in total. And on the forecast, it was not supposed to be very cold during the day, which it wasn't really. It was about -4, -6 Celsius, which Fahrenheit, I'm not quite sure what it is, and I'll put it in the description down there. But at night it went down pretty low, -20 probably. I didn't obviously I was trying to sleep. I didn't look at but it was pretty cold. First night was pretty good, but the second night I had a little bit of an issue. So we'll talk a little bit about the issue that happened. So as a result, got a beard, starved a little bit, lost about 5 pounds. So if you guys are looking for a good diet, go winter camp and have a few things falling down on you. The first thing that didn't work well, and I'm kind of surprised actually, was my little MSR reactor. So initially when I bought this was very for the winter camping things, because it was very compact and everything, and I was looking forward to that. So I tried it a few times in the summer, and I really liked it in the summer, and a few of my videos I mentioned it and stuff. But yeah, on the second day it literally fell on me. And not at a good time. It was the time that I needed the most, and it fell. But things happen, and what happened is basically the reactor was able to start it, but after a while, because the first thing that happened is where I went, I thought they would have a little bit more set up for winter, which they weren't. So getting water was a little bit difficult. Not that, because there are campgrounds, but they're usually used in the summer. And you got place where you can get water in the summer, and you saw some in my videos where those things, because they're national parks and stuff. But in the winter, what happened is that there was big snowbank. And as soon as you were getting too close, you didn't know exactly where was the bank and where was the water, and so your full skis were down. And then obviously didn't want to get my skis in the water, because then it would be very screwed, because then the snow stuck into your skis. So the first day I was able to manage a little bit of something with my ski poles and a water bottle and grab some water, and I was able to boil it. And again, the reactor worked pretty good. But on the second night, after a long night, I had to melt snow, so I was counting on obviously the reactor, and it started, and the snow melted, and then it started making funny noise like pop, 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 and next thing you know, it stopped working. So in the morning I tried again, and this time I kept it in my jacket thinking it was the cold. And after a little bit in my jacket, pull it out, same thing happened. And this time I was not able to do any water whatsoever. So I didn't have any water beside the bottle that I was able to do the night before. and so that was a bit disappointment. And so I'll have to go back on the drawboard on what to carry for winter, because usually I used to carry the Whisper Light, which is the bottle and everything, but I thought the reactor would be a little bit better about that. And obviously I'm in the national park, so I couldn't do any fire. So I managed later on though in the afternoon, when it was warmer, I was able to melt again about 1 liter of snow, and so I was able to drink a little bit of water. But when I got out, you can't imagine, I'm still thirsty. So this is a few days after, so I was pretty dehydrated. But what happened is that the first night, then I was not able to make any meal, and but anyway, I was very exhausted. And the second morning, I had to eat my oatmeal, kind of in cold cereal. But this is actually, I always was bringing stuff like this so that I could eat if I needed. So that's why freeze-dried food and everything, I could eat it. It gets crunchy, but as long as you're able to put some water in it, you're able to make a meal out of it. And so that's why this part of my system did work. The second part that didn't work very well was my sleeping bag. Usually here is very dry temperature and very dry winter. So even when I used to live in the east, and -10 was way worse than any -30 over here, because of this damp that goes through you, and no matter how many layers you have, it just goes through your clothes. So this time I brought my very warm sleeping bag, thinking that if something happened, then I'll be able to, because it's dry climate. Well, surprise. Nature had a little surprise for me. The humidity went up to about 80%, which is unheard of in over here. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, and that's another thing that didn't plan in my preparation at all, because usually I bring a synthetic sleeping bag, so even with high humidity you still get pretty warm. But on the second night the humidity must have been very high. Just when I went back to town, I watched the weather report, and yeah, the humidity was like 80%. And so the second night the temperature went down and it went through my sleeping bag, so it was very hard to stay warm. And I had a bottle of water that, because my water was not able to fully melt the snow, I was hoping that with the heat of my body and my sleeping bag I was able to make 1 liter of water. And in the middle of the night it was way too many humidity inside and stuff, so I had to throw the bottle outside my bivouac, and what happened is that it froze. So basically it took almost 2 days from frozen. It was a big block of ice, and so I lost literally 1 bottle of water because of all that system. So that was another failure for weather and everything. And the third thing that happened is that usually those things are not so bad. You don't quite need skins, which are basically it's like almost a big Velcro you put under your skis. And I thought I could manage with it, but the problem is that during the day the temperature was so low, well, so high. So I mean like -4, closest to 0. But usually with wax, if you go so the Swix wax system works by color, so it goes from red to white, and in between you have like blue special, green special, and things like that, and they go with the temperature range. And usually, for example, if it's a day for green and if you stick to the blue, then you're pretty good, because by putting one below, you have a little bit more traction, especially when you're climbing up. Well, I had the blue, I had the whole the kit, but not in the in between. And what happened is that the temperature went for the blue, and so I skid. And on the second day, I did about a 2,000 climb, and I literally exhausted myself. It was a long time I didn't got so tired. I didn't manage to get to the campground, but I literally exhausted myself. It was very tiring. So I didn't have my skins with me. So that was another thing that didn't go so well. And then on the end of the day, because I was supposed to do kind of a big loop, it was another pass that I was supposed to climb, and I got 1,000, but as soon as I started to climb, I'm like, I cannot do that rest of the day, so I had to go back. So which instead of doing 10 kilometers, I had to do another 20 kilometers to go back. So basically I ended up doing about 40 kilometers in 3 days. With not a lot of water, not a lot of food, and a stove that doesn't work. But and as a result as well is that part of my boots, and the third thing that quite didn't work well, and I think really I won't bring it next time, is the Beaver Walk. Beaver Walk was it was good for decreased space, for decreased weight, but not having the space really, there's some stuff that was kind of on outside and everything and things like that, and it made it very hard to manage. And at one point my leather boots kind of literally froze, and so I had to put my feet in it to warm them up, and my feet was very cold. And as they thaw, you have the pain that comes with it. And actually, I frost nipped, not frostbite, thank God, but I frost nipped the tip of my big toe, and for 2 or 3 days there, I had the numb toe. So it was a few things, but in all, it was awesome because of this. Because all that time. It pushed me to take decisions, and okay, what should I gonna do, steps by steps and everything, and it pushed me to kind of, it was almost like a survival exercise, which was interesting to see of how much I can push my limits, how much I can do without food, how much I can do without water, and all that stuff, and even being tired, how decision I was making and stuff like that. So it was an awesome experience for that. And that's what you do adventure for, right? It's to learn things like that. So I don't really like vacation to go and for the big stuff and everything. So that's why I like to learn about. So overall, it was an awesome experience, but it was a rough one for that period of time. A lot of things like went against me, and I'm kind of glad that it did too, because it pushed me to learn stuff and try to experience stuff. Being by myself as well was a little bit more challenging because of this, because I had to take all the decision by myself and stuff. So by like on the night that I was very exhausted, I had to set up camp, get the water, get the stove. The stove is not working now. You have to take the decisions and everything. But it was an awesome experience and everything. So anyway, I wanted to do a quick update video on my little trip, and hopefully I'll be able to pull the videos out of my chest camera, which was awesome, by the way, to be able to film all that stuff. Because as I was skiing, I could do stuff, I could talk. I even went downhill and took some shots and everything, and I think there's a few times I kind of fell down, and it'll be caught on camera. So I'm looking forward to see what it looks like, actually. And it was a cool little experience for that. And then I went skiing, downhill skiing for a few days and stuff like that. So pretty sore actually now. It's been like almost a week now of non-stop stuff, and yeah, and so now I'm doing videos and enjoying myself. So hopefully that was not too boring, and I wanted to share a few of those things I've learned. And if you have any questions, just don't hesitate to call, and hopefully I'll be able to put those videos pretty soon. Talk to you soon.